Okay, I think we're live. I think we are live. So welcome to Top 5 Live. This is your guide to the latest in tech, AI, and the web. So pretty much what I'm doing here is for the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to talk about the top 5 platforms, ideas, strategies that's going on in the world that gets me excited and that you might be interested in as well. I mean, for the last 6 months, there's been so much going on with new developments in AI, obviously ChatGPT, but also in the tools that people are using to build platforms, apps, software, and obviously in tech as well. So I thought it would be helpful to have a space where I can quickly go over the top 5 things that I've noticed from the last 7 days. Who knows, we might do this every week moving forward if people are enjoying the content. But yeah, wanted to go live because it's the easiest way to just, have a conversation and get content out. So, okay, let's begin. I'm still working my way around the streaming software that I'm using because you always feel like a novice, even if you're experienced in using stuff. So let me add this to the stage like that, and just pull that up. Okay, so number 1, Perplexity.ai. So whether you've heard of this or not, or played around with it, it is an exceptional tool that's just hit the market probably about maybe 10 to 12 months ago, but I've just started using it quite a bit for search. So typically, for the last 15 years, most people have engaged with search through Google. And let's say, for example, we're going to put the question out of what is the best website builder for plumbers. And the experience on Google with the amount of ads that people are running now is actually pretty terrible. So if we look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ads to start off. Then we've got a Reddit forum, which again is not really giving us a good answer to that question. And then we start to get into some of the websites, the web builders there, and even a couple of videos from YouTube. But what Perplexity is good at is it's really simple, and you put in a question and it's just going to give you an answer. So it obviously has access to the search functionality, all of the websites, etc. But if we put that same question in to Perplexity and click go, it's going to cite sources at the top. So it's still giving us that, relevant information, but then it's just going to go straight into a really nice bullet point, numbered list here. So it's going to rank the first one as WordPress, Snaps.ai, which I actually haven't heard of before, Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, and then you can ask follow-up questions, which is the best for a beginner. And maybe that list is going to change a bit. Yep. So it's given us the top, based on those 2 inputs, the top website builder is according to this Wix. So yeah, have a go with Perplexity, because I think it's going to be the future of how people engage with search. A lot of the time, 80% of the time I use Google or even ChatGPT, I'm using it to just get one answer back. I don't want a giant list of, search ranked items and ads and videos, etc. I just want to find the answer to my question. So anyway, that's number 1, Perplexity.ai. Number 2 is just recently, GPT has now got search functionality. So I'll have a play here and see if this works. I might need to toggle some setting, but let's say I wanted to say, find me a 2-bedroom, brand new home in Petone for sale. So previously, without this update, it didn't have the ability to actually pull through specific landing pages or specific data from search terms. It might give you some, generic, the suburb trends, or the market is going in this direction, but it's kind of rolling up a lot of things that it's been educated on and then giving you that information. But now we're actually able to receive source-based data from landing pages. So for example, it's given us, here's some 2-bedroom properties currently for sale in Petone. We can have a look there, and it's given us the address there, and it's pulled this from real estate. So if we actually head to that website, we can go straight to the landing page. So if you just think about what this would mean for the way people buy and sell property in New Zealand, I think it's going to have a huge impact, especially once it's pulling all of the data in. So for example, we could say, great, I want something with a swimming pool. Let's see if it's able to give us. Currently, there are no 2 bedrooms with swimming pools listed for sale in Petone. Oh, right. I'm probably not. Okay, check all of Wellington for 2 beds with pools. Let's give it a bit of a wider. No brand new 2-bedroom. That would actually make sense. Usually people don't build 2-bedroom properties. Okay, just any property with a pool. Okay, so it's found something. Kapiti Coast. The listing link is not working. But this is pretty cool because it's right at the start of the functionality of being able to search. So you can see here, it's not quite firing on all cylinders, but this is the sign that, for early adopters who are able to use tools like this, you could even start, if you're selling your home, you could be like, find me the agent in my area who sells consistently above RV or CV or whatever it is, or find me the real estate agent with the most reviews, etc. There's plenty of platforms that do similar stuff, but I think a lot of the day-to-day search will be either Perplexity or GPT as opposed to Google, or opposed to all of the platform, the property portals, marketplaces, and directories. So that's number 2. Top 5 live. That's number 2. And number 3 is a platform called N8N. So if you're aware of Zapier or Make.com, they're really powerful tools for connecting different pieces of software. Workflow automation is kind of the term there. And so this platform here is pretty cool. So this is very, very similar to a Make.com. So you've got a visual builder and connector. You can add in modules or nodes or whatever they're called, connect them together, and so you can have a trigger. So for example here, on create user form submission, then create the user in Google, and then you'll have like you might even have an update Slack or an update Teams, whatever. So very, very similar. It's obviously another tool to learn, but the great thing about this is it's actually open source. So you can actually host this privately, which would mean, as opposed to paying, the equivalent of even a couple $100 or a few $100 for a Zapier account, if you're a medium to small business, you could be paying a coffee a month because you're not having to pay those high fees. I thought that was pretty cool. So the pricing here obviously relates to, using the service that they provide and the servers, but there is. Whereabouts is it? So yeah, you can see here, hosted by N8N, hosted by N8N. This is what these prices are, but you can do a self-hosted plan and download this for free. So there's actually a really good tutorial on how to do this in the next, number 4 of our top 5 of the week, which is on Low Code School. So this is a school community hosted by a guy called Marco, who's brilliant. He helps people understand how to build apps themselves. So head on to that for a great tutorial on how to do this yourself. But moving on, number 4 out of 5, we have got a new update to Glide. So Glide is the app builder I predominantly use for internal tools and prototypes. So it's a really, really great builder. And the latest update is that they've just released what they're calling workflows. So previously it was called just actions. And the biggest limitation to actions was that you could only, you could have a trigger within the app. That was pretty easy to do, or you'd have to use an API call or a webhook. But now you can integrate a lot more into their tool. You can have a trigger as, say, an email, which is pretty cool if you think about linking up your inbox. Every time I receive an email, I want to run this workflow. They also have a lot better like conditional logic, so you can not just have an and or else up the top, but you could have multiple of those in groups. You could also have like recurring triggers. So for example, every day at 9 a.m., create this workflow, create these tasks, send an email to the client, create a proposal, whatever it is. So yeah, it's the great thing about Glide is the CEO, David, is very, very involved as well. So he's got some great tutorials on how to use that as well. Might be helpful. Yeah, I think the best way if you are interested in this update is to just go on his Twitter account and to watch the videos he's put up. So that's 4 out of 5. And the last one, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, so number 5 was so there's a company called RapidQS, and for a while they've been putting out some great content. They're a quantity surveyor for builders, tradies, and one of the recent things that he's done, he's actually been on a great podcast with Luke Kimmys talking about it, but he's been like breaking down council costs for projects. So for example, there was a great one where he talked about $650,000 playground or something in Dunedin, and then actually got his hands on the rate sheets and whatever went into that, and realized he probably chalked it up to like 180K or 200K. So viral content this guy's putting out, it's of great value. But I guess the reason I bring it up is because I think service businesses will be leaning into content and creating a media company and putting out content a lot more, because they realize the value of the fact that this guy has a service business. So he is procuring estimates for tradies for a fixed cost or however he does it, which for the most part the strategy was just put a website up, maybe an Instagram, but now he's actually really hit a pain point that a lot of people have, which is that builders are waiting days, if not weeks, for these things to be turned over for them. And his thing is like, cut the fat. He's going to deliver it on time and really quickly, and he's got really great content. So I thought that was cool to see someone in New Zealand that's running a service business, but just nailing it. Like, he's hitting it out of the park. This content's got thousands of followers, and he's probably never going to be in short supply of work. So anyway, that is our top 5 live for the week. This has been your guide to the latest in tech, AI, and the web. If we haven't met before, my name is House here. I should have said this at the start, but I run a software agency called App House, and we help business owners turn their ideas into apps. So if you have ever thought about building an idea, if you've got a pain point in your business and you would love some custom software, please get in touch. But otherwise, hope to see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.